Welcome to my backyard homestead tour. Starting right off, we got these 4x4 raised beds for this year. Pay no attention to my daughter's yard darts. But they're raised up off the ground because we have little critters that run around. So I wanted to make sure that they were protected. This is my little tea garden. Right there is a little bit of echinacea. That is catnip right there. And that is lemon balm. I thought I'd use those to have good teas to help with different things. This is my peppers, little sweet bell peppers. They're not coming in yet, but you can see the little buds forming. This is a tomato plant. I just got done putting this little makeshift stand on the tomatoes to kind of prop them up because they were starting to get a little bit unwieldy, a little bit big. I didn't want them flopping out of the container here. I'm still experimenting with this raised bed to see what I can do. This area right here is all doesn't have anything except for the cucumber right there in the corner. I figured I'd give it a little bit of space to spread out a little bit. It still might be too big for this particular area, but you know what? I'm having a good time trying to figure things out and seeing what works, what doesn't. So that's why I put that in the corner by itself. This is another small bell pepper plant. It wasn't doing too good, but it's still coming along, so I have hope that I'll get some yield out of that. This is the compost section that comes in these raised beds. You actually put your household trimmings, and when you're cutting in vegetables and stuff like that, instead of throwing that stuff away, I end up throwing it out here. Eggshells, coffee grounds. I just put a little bit of old dead leaves and stuff like that on top to kind of keep the gnats away. Because once you put that fresh stuff out here, you get a bunch of gnats that kind of swarm around there. This area here is my Swiss chard. As you can see, the one in the middle is doing the best. This one's doing okay. I took these from seed. So I grew these from seed, and they're just kind of slowly but surely coming along. I think it might be time to put a little fertilizer in. I put a little fertilizer in to start, but this is my little, my smallest Swiss chard. It's still coming along. I have good high hopes. That's tarragon right there. These are two tomato plants, but they're like cherry tomatoes, supposed to be sweet. And that's sage and thyme over in the corner. And right here in front of us is a little bit of chamomile. So for a little bit more tea on this side. But that's what I got in my raised gardens. You come over against the wall here. We kind of dug this little area out. This is an azalea bush right here. And over here in this section right here, this is new grass that I put in once I dug this area in the backyard where we had these rocks and things. Up against the fence is a wildflower bed. We got this thing from Home Depot, pack of seeds that supposed to generate hummingbird attracting wildflowers. So I'm really looking forward to seeing any hummingbirds that might appear once the flowers start coming out. But yeah, just trying to make it a little bit pretty. And that's a lavender bush there, although it might be in a bad area because it's getting a little too much water. So I have to be a little more strategic with how I water it. Otherwise I'm going to kill that thing. So, but I chose to put it there. Anyway, I have a couple of buckets where these were seed packets that I put on top of soil. So that is arugula, red lettuce, and spinach. Although the arugula is kind of killing out the spinach. It used to be all spinach down there, and once that arugula kind of took root and started growing, it seems like it wasn't getting enough light under the spinach. So I had to pull some of that back or something. I don't know. This is where I have my oregano growing. It's still coming in. I did that from seed, so I thinned it out. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll start to really see a nice growth on that oregano. This is a fig tree or fig bush. I have not planted yet. I have an area, but I got to get somebody to come out and make sure I don't have any power lines down there. That is the rosemary. I put a couple of rosemary plants in this pot. And here's all of my container garden buckets. I'm so looking forward to getting something out of these. This is zucchini right here, and I created them I put them in a 5-gallon bucket. I actually made this little the cage to kind of protect it and give it some place to go once it keeps growing up. And I got one little bitty zucchini coming in right here. As you can tell, I'm real proud of that little nub. So he'll grow, or she'll grow, and then we'll get a few more out of there. This is my Japanese eggplant plants. I got 2 of those so they could cross-pollinate. Looking forward to those. And these 2 are my yellow squash, and I've got a bunch of yellow squash coming in underneath these leaves here. These very pretty leaves. That's one, but there's a whole bunch of little nubs that are probably a couple of weeks away from being harvested. I'm going to be lousy with yellow squash this summer, but that's all right. I don't mind. I like yellow squash. I'm looking forward to figuring some things out with it. This is my citronella plant. I bought it smaller. I just had to repot it into this bigger pot because it was starting to get a little root bound in the pot that it came in. So far I haven't had a whole bunch of mosquitoes, so maybe it's doing its job, Let's see what else we have here. This is my laboratory right now. It's a little messy, but I come out here and try and figure some things out. I like to regrow vegetables that I've been using. So right here, this is romaine lettuce. I wound up getting romaine lettuce from the store, and I chopped it up to use it to make salad, of course. And then what you do is you just chop it and throw it right into a cup of water, just like this one. Like this is what I just used this the other day for salad. That's, you see the bottom part there. I sliced off the very bottom of the romaine lettuce and then put it into some water. You change the water every day and it starts to grow right back up again. So once it got to a certain height, I planted it in some dirt, and you see this is the type of growth that I'm getting. Is a nice little, I just grabbed an old container, but it's a nice little area for regrowing some vegetables, and I'm going to take those and eat those leaves and enjoy it. And I just love getting 1 or 2 more meals out of something that I bought. This area over here, that's my jalapeno plant right there. Didn't do that. Yeah, I did that one from seed too. It's going slow, but it's still going. And these onions here, these green onions, I love scallions. So I bought these from the store, and because I didn't want to waste them, basically once I used the green part up, I chopped them down, put them in some water, and you see they start to sprout back up again. So once they get to a certain height, then you can replant them into some dirt, and then they just start growing again. So I just reused, clipped a couple of bits off those that I just did, and that was 2 meals out of that same scallion. And these are all scallions that I've, just planted once they got a little bit of height on them. So I'm still playing around with it. That right there is my garlic. I did a 1 garlic plant. I'm still trying to figure out how to do garlic well. And of course, those are a couple of seedlings that I had. And this is sweet potato I got from while we were out yesterday. So I'm looking forward to putting those in a couple of containers and seeing what I can get off that. And of course, last but not least is my sweet basil. I grew these from seed as well, but once they start coming in, we're going to be lousy with sweet basil. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, that is the tour. I guess the big thing that I would like to say when it comes to backyard gardening or gardening where you can is just trying to create a little bit of life wherever you find it. That makes me feel good, especially when I get to eat at the end of my labors. So anyway, that's where we're at. Thanks.